What's going on, everybody? This is Shok. Now, I did do a video talking about my trip to E3 and all that stuff, and you know what I loved most about it, what I didn't like about it, things like that. Just my whole E3 experience. But that video ended up being 40 minutes long. You guys know me; I could be long-winded and stuff. So either I'm going to edit that video to make it more appropriate, video length, or I'm just going to completely just redo it over again and try to compress things and not talk so much. But in the meantime, because this is pretty much the next most requested video, my impressions on Smash. And after I give my actual impressions, mostly this video is going to be actually a rant about, this pretty much anti-competitive sentiment that's always been, going around in the Smash community, but it's a lot more, prevalent, in today's age. So basically, for those of you who may not know, just like the Nintendo fan base in general, the Smash fan base is also, pretty divided. There's the casual players who play with the items and whatnot on and stuff like that and wacky stuff, and they'll do different game modes. Then, of course, there's the competitive players where they'll play on neutral stages. Neutral meaning, there's no walk-offs or there's no stage hazards, stuff like that, with no items, 4 stocks. Depending on the game, Brawl is 3 stocks. But before I get into that, let me give you guys my actual impressions on the game, right? Casually, it is the most fun Smash to date. That's how I feel, that is just for me playing the demo. Now, I have played the demo literally 50 times. I played 50 matches of Smash Bros. For Wii U, literally. Because you guys saw the pictures, I've gotten 25 Smash Bros. Shirts. And to get a shirt, you had to play, 2 matches. You got 2 matches per time you play, so I literally played like 50 plus matches of Smash. So I probably played that game more than even probably some of the invitational players. I don't know how much hands-on times they were able to get before the actual tournament, but outside of them, I probably have the most experience of that game out of anybody. So take my word for it. In my opinion, I definitely think it's the most fun Smash to date, because the reason being is because the feel, it just feels great, right? When you hit somebody with the smash attack, especially when they're at high percentages, especially with freaking Little Mac, it just feels really satisfying, So pretty much it's the whole, kind of physics and just the feel of the game that just kind of makes it, the most fun to play so far, right? And also, the characters are a lot more, varied compared to, previous titles. Basically, there's a much wider range of characters with different play styles, right? Little Mac, stay on the ground, don't get into the air because his aerials are useless, whatever. He's a beast on the ground, he's weak in the air or off stage, right? Rosalina, you can separate the Luma to, attack people from across the stage, but then that also opens you up and makes Rosalina herself more vulnerable. You see what I mean? So there's a lot more very different play styles going on, and I love that. I played Little Mac for pretty much I'd say 85% of the time. Zero Suit and Wii Fit Trainer the rest of the time. Little Mac is really fun to play, but he is definitely not OP like a lot of people like to seem to make him out to be. He's actually pretty low. I would actually say he's a pretty low tier character, simply because his aerials are garbage. And yeah, we knew his aerials are always going to be weak, but actually playing him, it's like, whoa, didn't know they were going to be this weak. Like, you might as well not even jump, with Little Mac. His aerials are pretty much useless, non-existent. They have no launch to them, no hit stun on them at all. Their hitboxes are extremely small. So he's definitely bounced out. If you get him way off stage, he is not coming back unless he flew to the corner of the stage, so he kind of has a lot of time to, float down. You see what I mean? Yeah, his recovery, even using the side B, ass. Zero Suit, definitely a lot better than Brawl Zero Suit. I'd definitely say she's on the higher end of the roster. I like her changes. I just kind of had to adjust to her forward smash, being 2 kicks rather than, the whip swipe or whatever. I like her new B or whatever. Zero Suit will pretty much always make it back on the stage. Like, if you don't recover with Zero Suit, you're just ass, because she has the down B, which goes even higher than before. Then she has the new up B, which she just like rockets, up into the air. Wii Fit Trainer, I like her moveset. The only problem with Wii Fit is that she has so much in lag to offer moves, which is a problem playing in this game right now. So that's pretty much all the impressions I give. It was a demo. I only played 3 characters, so there's really not much I can say. But like I said, casually, it's the most fun to play. Little Mac is definitely low tier in my opinion, but he is still a blast to play because he is a beast on the ground, and he does have the KO punch, which is just like so hype and exhilarating to land, especially when you hit multiple people with it. Oh, another reason why, I would say that he sucks is because he cannot get the smash ball, because most of the time you gotta jump in the air, hit it with the aerial to, break it, right? Can't do that with Little Mac because he has no aerials. But going on to the bad side, which is, of course, I'm about to get into the competitive thing. And I know there's a lot of casual people out there who like to label us as tourney fags, right? Because for some reason there's something, gay about playing a game competitively, playing a fighting game competitively, right? Melee fags, although everybody who plays Smash competitively, get this, does not play Melee. I don't play Melee. There's competitive Brawl players. Did you guys know there's a competitive Brawl scene as well? Yes, there is. There's even competitive 64 scene. So whenever you guys see people talking about competitive Smash, that does not mean they are Melee players. The more you know. But getting on to the competitive side. Like I said, casually, I would say Smash 4 is the most fun so far. Competitively, it is definitely the worst. The reason being is because it is the most stripped down Smash we have so far. Thus far. Now, yes, it's still, in development. It was a demo, and they are taking feedback, but I wouldn't hold my breath because Sakurai is definitely stubborn. While Nintendo has been showing a lot of support for the competitive scene, I'm pretty sure that's Nintendo North America, or just Nintendo in general, and not necessarily specifically Sakurai. You see what I mean? Those are 2 separate different entities. There's Nintendo North America, who probably got us the GameCube adapter and did the Smash Invitational, and then there's Sakurai, right? 2 completely separate entities. You see what I mean? But the reason being, and the reason why it's more stripped down than Brawl is because it doesn't even have all the mechanics that Brawl had. You could do more in Brawl than you can in Smash 4. Maybe there's some Smash 4 specific things that you're able to do, but the Invitational guys, they got a lot of time with it. They really weren't able to find things. Like I said, I played 50 matches of the game. I was trying to do all kinds of stuff. Wasn't able to do it. And I know a lot of you guys would be like, well, what's the problem with not having mechanics and stuff like this? And I know a lot of you guys might be like, yeah, that's what you get, you tourney fags, you competitive fags. You people who might find it silly that people play, Smash competitively the way they do. Let me try to make it to where you guys will understand our point of view as best as you guys can, okay, right? Imagine, let's say, you're playing Mario Kart, right? The next Mario Kart has no drifting. Imagine that. Imagine how you would feel, okay? That is how we are feeling right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or, even with Smash, we can do it with Smash. Even for you casual Smash players, right? Imagine if in Smash 4, you couldn't dodge roll. Imagine if you couldn't air dodge. If you're in the air and somebody's under you, you can't air dodge and they can just hit you. Imagine if that got taken out. Imagine if the spot dodging, also known as sidestepping, imagine if that got taken out, where you weren't able to do the dodge in place, right? Exactly. Imagine how awful that would be, right? Okay, now you feel how, you're imagining how you would feel right now, right? If that were to happen. That's exactly how competitive Smash players are feeling right now. So maybe with those examples, you guys can kind of understand where, me and the rest of the competitive Smash scene is coming from. Right? Because all these mechanics get stripped and moved, removed and stuff for really, no reason. And here's kind of where my rant starts, right? And I kind of talked about this before, but just to kind of reiterate, there is nothing about these mechanics that get in the way of casual play. There is technical play in Smash 64. A lot of you guys don't even know that. Did you enjoy 64? Yes. Do you see the point I'm making? All that stuff for Melee. I played Melee for years. Now, yeah, I played competitively in the sense that when my friends came over, we did no items, neutral stages, but I didn't take it as seriously as I do now, right? I didn't go to actual real tourneys. Yeah, I would do a tourney that my school is doing, or if GameStop's doing a tournament, yeah, I would go, whatever. But as far as going to these tournaments where you could win, real money, where actual competitive players are going and pros are going, I didn't do that back in the day. You know, I wasn't in tune with the scene like that. But I played Melee for all those years and didn't even know all these things you could do in Melee even existed. And I'm sure you guys sure as hell don't. Sure, you may know, you know, wave dashing. Of course, that's the biggest one. Some of you may know L canceling. That's pretty much the second biggest one. But do you guys know about shield dropping? Do you know about dash dancing? Do you know about dash canceling? Do you know about crouch canceling? Do you know about DI? Do you know about smash DI? All that stuff, right? Do you know about, you know, the invincible ledge hopping and all that stuff? Ledge canceling? Did I already say that? I don't know. You probably don't. Now, all those things existed. I'm getting to my point right here. All those things existed this whole time. You didn't even know. Did you enjoy Melee? Do you see what I'm saying? Exactly. Exactly. So for Sakurai and for your more casual players who are against, you know, a Smash being casual, a Smash being made, you know, for the casual scene to have all these, you know, mechanics and, you know, technical things you could do, what is the problem with the inclusion of those things? Because as I just proved, as I just showed to you guys, those things all these years have not been impeding on your guys' ability to have fun with the games. You see what I'm saying? Even Brawl has its technicalities. Do you guys know what a Dacus is? Do you know what an aerial glide toss is? I'm sure you guys don't know. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about, like, you know, competitive players. It's just not Melee, guys. There's a huge competitive Brawl scene as well. And now, yeah, sure, the Brawl scene is dying, which I will tie into a point I'm going to get to soon. But there has been a competitive Brawl scene for all these years. Right? Brawl's been to MLG a couple of times. Brawl has its mechanics. I'm sure you guys didn't even know the stuff I just talked about and mentioned. That just goes to prove my point. These things that can be put into the game to support technical play, to support competitive play, are not going to impede on your guys' ability to have fun with the game at all. And that is one thing not only you guys have to realize, but Sakurai has to realize. Because he thinks that the inclusion of L canceling and all this stuff is somehow going to piss the casuals off. No, because they're not going to use it. But more importantly, and here's another concept Sakurai needs to understand, is that casual players play with casual players, competitive players play with competitive players, right? And if a more competitive player completely demolishes a casual player, like I said before in another video, that competitive player has earned that right because he has taken the time out. He has dedicated time to understand the game better than the casual player has. So, yeah, he deserves to win. You see what I'm saying? To Sakurai, why are you trying to level the playing field? That shouldn't be, that shouldn't be for any game. Not even a fighting game, for any game. If somebody has dedicated the time to try to understand the game and play the game better than somebody else, then they should have the right to beat that person on a consistent basis. You see what I'm saying? What is this I want everything to be fair thing? Like, it's already fair. What you're doing right now is just turning off a whole part of your fan base. Sakurai, I'm telling you right now, you're missing out on a ton of sales by trying to intentionally strip down Smash 4. And I've already proven that our competitive play doesn't impede on the way you guys enjoy your games at all, which I find funny because competitive players don't crap on casual players at all, right? We let you guys play the way you guys want to play, right? But at the same time, it's a one-sided thing. You guys crap on the way we play, right? Which it's just retarded because there's an item switch for a reason, right? There's rules controls for a reason. He's doing the for glory thing for a reason because Sakurai's pretty much telling you you can play the game any way you want, but some of you fans still have problems acknowledging that fact. But where was I getting at? I was talking about the whole fair thing and all that stuff, right? And yeah. If a casual player is not going to run into a tournament, right? You see what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. You're not going to have Mewtwo King play with a casual. Like, that's not going to happen. See what I mean? So that's another concept Sakurai needs to understand, is that these two types of players are completely separated. There are two completely different kinds of Smash players that are in two completely different kinds of spectrums. They are not going to mingle. They are not going to mesh together. You're never going to see that, because somebody who doesn't take Smash seriously, plays with the item, just wants to, have fun, as if playing competitively isn't fun either. That's this false stigma going around, but, they never mix. And like I just proved to you guys, all these, technical mechanics and stuff, all that stuff isn't going to impede on the way you guys have fun with your items on and Smash Balls and stuff like that either. And I've already proven it, but to go even further, I have a challenge for you casual guys. Download Project M, which we all know is a mod made for competitive Smash. The whole point of Project M is for competitive Smash, right? Download Project M, get 3 of your friends, turn the items on, do whatever goofy, silly stuff you want with the custom modes and stuff. Go to the second page, because the second stage page with the stages, whatever, that's where the more, non-neutral stages are, with the stage hazards and stuff like that. Go to one of those stages, play matches. Then I want you to come back and tell me with a straight face that you didn't have fun. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm making here is that all the stuff that we do, the wave dashing, the L canceling, the ledge, the this canceling, that canceling, all that stuff, the follow-ups, the combos and that stuff, it doesn't affect the way you guys play at all. Because casual players are going to play casually. Competitive players are going to play casually. And seldom you'll see a competitive player playing with the casual player. You're not going to see that. And if that competitive player is going to be playing with the casual player, like if I have a friend who comes over who's more of a casual player, I will turn the items on, because my friend's not going to have fun. Just having no items on and me just absolutely bodying him left and right. You see what I'm saying? So we will actually play with the items. That's another false notion going around, that we won't play with the items on. We will if we need to, or if we have to. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we will turn them on just to goof around. Sometimes we will do free-for-alls to goof around. Sure, not at a tournament, because it's a tournament. Of course, we're going to do 1v1s. But if we're sitting at a house, whatever, sometimes, sure, it's not all the time, but sometimes we will just goof around and have fun like that. So, squash that notion right there. But yeah, what more can I say? What more can I say? Like I said, N64 has these technicalities that you guys don't even know about. You don't even know the tip of it, but you guys enjoyed it. You guys didn't even know. You guys thought it was, just wave dashing. There's so much more mechanics in Melee. There's so much more mechanics in Brawl. Brawl! The one you guys say is so superior to Melee, and Melee turning fags and yada yada, when Brawl has its technicalities as well. You didn't even know it. I'm going back to Smash 4. I completely forgot to talk about the speed and hit stun. The speed is definitely much faster than Brawl. The speed is fine. I think the speed is fine where it is. I would like to be a little faster, but I'm not going to complain, because I'm going to accept where it is right now. I think it's fine. The hit stun is actually pretty decent. Problem is that there's way too much end lag to these animations, so it's hard to do a follow-up after you hit somebody, because you're recovering, because you have all these frames at the end of your attacks animation. There's that, and then normals and grabs have way too much knockback. So if you grab somebody at like 0%, do a forward throw, you won't be able to follow up with the combo, because that throw knocked them back too far, right? Or if you do a forward tilt and try to follow up with that, it knocked him too far back. So he needs to scale the knockback down on the normals and the grabs, and also reduce the amount of frames in these animations. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, you guys get the point. I don't have to keep going on. There's no reason to not support competitive play. I mean, think about it. There's a reason why Melee is still being played in 2014. Guys, Melee came out in 2001 and it's still being played. Think about it. And it's not like, oh yeah, it's still being played, but it's kind of died down a bit. No, it's actually growing. The Melee scene is growing. Think about that. For a reason. Because it supports competitive play. It's free advertisement. Sakurai, why wouldn't you want to support competitive play? There's no reason. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose, but he doesn't realize this for whatever strange alternate reality reason that he has going on in his head right now. It just absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. at all. It just doesn't. And there's a reason why the Brawl scene is dying. Because, yeah, while Brawl does have its competitiveness, it was made to try to kind of squander that in the first place. And that's why the Brawl scene is dying and the Melee scene is growing. There's a reason why Melee is still being played after all these years. Now, Sakurai, let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you want Smash 4 to be played years after years after years after years after years and after years? And sure, some of you guys may have played Brawl years after it was released, but you weren't playing it consistently. You would play, you know, every now and then whenever your friends would come over. Then you would bust it out, whatever. But were you playing daily on Brawl? No, you weren't doing that. You see what I'm saying? Sakurai, wouldn't you want a game where people will support it over a decade later? Where it will be at tournaments, being seen by literally thousands. Melee Evo last year had over 100,000 people watching it. Why would you not want that? You see what I'm saying? There's no reason to support it. Now, I did hear that they were taking feedback at the Invitational from the actual competitive players. I did hear that at some Best Buys they were taking feedback. And at E3 on the show floor, they were taking feedback as well from people. That's great. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to Sakurai. Because while they're taking feedback, that doesn't mean that Sakurai is going to take it. So I'm not holding my breath. But hopefully you guys kind of see things from our point of view now. You kind of understand things better. While there's absolutely no reason to not support competitive play. Like I said, the GameCube Adapt and all that stuff is great. We appreciate that. But at the end of the day, none of that stuff is going to matter if competitive play is only supported outside the game and not supported inside the actual game. You see what I mean? But that's it for this video. I dragged it on long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you fools later.